Hey guys, it's your girl London, and today spring has sprung and we are going to do a first impression and look with the infamous Natasha Denona pastel palette. So if you want to see what the look looks like, how we feel about all the shades and formulas, then stick around because we are getting right into it. The infamous Natasha Denona pastel palette. Guys, this was leaked 3 or 4 months ago and somebody over the pond in Europe got it supposedly at a Sephora store that accidentally put it out too soon, and bam, it was there, and we were like, whoa, pastel. Because if you remember, there was the Tropic palette. Yup, and the Tropic palette really didn't fare well for Natasha, and it had some pastel shades in that one. So everybody was really waiting to see, was this true? Was this a hoax? What was it? Well guys, it's here, it's real, it's now. The Natasha Denona pastel palette. So let's talk a little bit about the palette and get into some of the details. So guys, the Natasha Denona pastel palette, I looked up on Sephora, that's what we're doing right now, and this is going to be her midi size palette. This is $65. This has 15 shades, and this has the mattes, this has metallics, and this has duochromes. So there's 3 finishes, and then the formulas have her traditional formula. There's creams and powders, and supposedly there is a new formula inside this palette. I don't really know about that, but I always tell everybody, if you want to know detailed information about Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, so all things Natasha, all things Pat McGrath, then you need to go check out A Kinky Sweat. Alicia is the guru on Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona, so I will leave her links down below, because if you want to know in depth about either one of those brands, definitely go seek her out, because like I said, she is a chef's kiss, guru delight, and she is gorgeous. She has fantastic makeup aesthetic, and she has a really great personality. So go check her out because she is fantastical. So it says that with this palette, you're going to get a bursting palette with lush, inspiring colors from playful pinks and yellows to delicate purples and blues. It says that this is free of parabens and mineral oil, and that it is cruelty free. It says, anything but ordinary, the pastel eyeshadow palette's unique color story offers buildable intensity, write that down and remember it, for everything from subtle to statement looks. Go monochrome with the same pastel shades in different tones, or use the palette and add a pop of pastel to an otherwise neutral eye look. The only limit is your imagination. Whatever you choose, all formulas in this palette blend seamlessly, write that down again, for a long-lasting, write that down again, effortless, write that down again, pro-level looks, write that down again. So she is letting us know that we have buildable intensity, guys, that we are going to get pro-level looks, effortless, it is going to be long-lasting, and it is going to blend seamlessly. So we know that pastels in the past really have not fared well, not only for Natasha but for other brands. We just did the Too Faced Too Femme palette, fail with the pastels. So she's saying that these are buildable, these are bold, you can get a soft, you can get a look, and everyone should be able to get that. So we're going to put that to the test, because if this is the pastel palette of my dreams, I'm going to be so happy, because you guys know that I love a good pastel color, but they never tend to show up on my melanated skin. They usually are chalk, chalky, chalk. So I definitely want to see what this is going to give us. This says that for the matte shadows, you want to apply with a fluffy brush, and you want to blend or use a detailed brush for precision. It says for the metallic and duochrome eyeshadows, you want to apply them with different shapes of brushes for a subtle application, but if you want something that's high payoff and finished foil, apply with a damp eyeshadow brush or with the tip of your finger, which typically we use the tip of our finger here, so we shouldn't have any problems with that. So guys, I guess you want to see what it looks like, right? Well, here we go. This is the unicarton. It's definitely going to throw off my lighting here for a second. So that's the unicarton, absolutely gorgeous. It's subtle pink into this kind of mint. Love it. It's giving me Cali Fresh. I'm here for it. Lighting, come on back. Here we go again, shall we? Bam! And this looks exactly like the unicarton. It does have the holes in the back, so you can punch them out if you guys didn't know, and you can rearrange them in any way, shape, or form that you want to. With our other midi palettes, you also can pop those ones out, and you can interchange them into different palettes, so you can have the layout that best suits you. So if you're looking at this layout, you're feeling confused, but you still want the palette, go ahead and pop them out, put them and arrange them in a way that suits you, or take some from our other palettes and pop them in here and make a color story that is yours rather than one that's already done for you. As you know, the Natasha Denona palettes have a beautiful, gorgeous mirror, which I am going to be using, but is wide. It's nice. I really like these mirrors. They're very hardy and they have a really, really nice glass to them, so you really can see yourself. They're not foggy, they're not misty, they're really gorgeous. And here is the palette layout itself. Very, very beautiful. I really, really love these shades. I think that they're absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. I just, this kind of like periwinkle, loves this mint, love this green and that purple, love this peach. This is a dream. This is a dream. Now there are a lot of comparisons to this palette, and I don't have time right now to go get all the palettes that I have out of my collection, but just off my mind, this really kind of reminded me a bit. I know people are comparing it to the Tropic palette. They're also saying that it could be a good pair to the Circle Loca palette, and I agree. But this really reminds me of the Sephora, if you guys remember, the Sephora collection with Pantone. And it had these same colors in them, variation hues with them, and this is what it reminds me of. It also reminds me of, I believe it was The Rock had the California Breakfast or something like that, when they had the pastel palettes, and more recently the BH Cosmetics, I can't recall the palette that everybody has that looks very similar to this with the swatches. So it reminds me of a few palettes, but really I'm looking at the intensity of it because I really, really, really want to see what it can do for me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rip that off. That was so satisfying. And we are going to get right into it. This is, again, this is a very, very, very nice mirror. I'm trying to use a smaller mirror so it doesn't throw the color off at all. So we are going to get into our look. As you guys know, I will put a picture of the palette somewhere up here so you guys can follow along rather than me having to continue to hold it up. So here we go, guys. Let's get into this pastel heaven or a pastel hell. We'll see. Let's get into it. Alright, so first we are going to take our Wayne Goss number 17 brush. As you guys know, this is our flat brush, looks like a little paintbrush, and we're going to put a color all over the lids. The lids are not primed. All they have on them is the foundation that I have on, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Longwear Foundation. And that has powder over it, and that's it. The powder is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh powders, but it has no primer or anything. It's just exactly how I did my base. That's what it got on it. So let's see. Now this does not have like that lid color that you're looking for just to put all over, something very neutral neutral, so we are going to have to get fancy with it. So we're going to go in with the color Bellini, and this is a beautiful, beautiful peach color, and I'm really, really hoping that this is going to have the payoff that I'm looking for. So let's see, guys, shall we? I'm trying to figure out, oh man. Okay. Okay. Now I'm not mad at this color because we're just trying to do it all over, but if I was using it elsewhere, I would want to have a little more color than that. So you guys can see, that's the one that has it, that's the one that doesn't. Nothing Bellini. It definitely kind of made the eyelid smooth, but it didn't give, you can even see it on my brush, it certainly did not give that. So let's try and go in again with a second layer, and this does have a bit of powder. It definitely is kicking up a bit, which is fine, but I just want to let you guys know. Okay, now with this second layer, we're really seeing the peachy look. Okay. Alright, so now I feel like, yeah, we have that nice peach look right there. Perfect. That's wonderful. I think that that is not fully on par with the color, but close enough, especially on a complected skin. So like I said, I'm not hating on it. It is peach, for goodness sakes. But I think that it did a good job giving that peach color. You just have to build it. And I only wanted to do 2 layers on it because this is not going to be the main color. This is just a color to kind of mute out the lids a bit and kind of start to build all my other colors on top of it. So for that, I'm happy. But if I were to use this as an actual shade, I would definitely want to build this up a bit more. So right here, it's kind of clinging a bit to Good Lord, is that a wrinkle? I don't know. I don't know what it's clinging to. Something right here, I don't know if you guys can see. It is clinging to something. There's like a little line right there. I'm trying to use my brush to get it out. Like I said, there's no primer or anything on here. My face is completely dry, so I'm not quite sure what that is, but I like this color. Okay, very nice. So next we are going to let's go in with our, this is our Laura Lee Los Angeles L26 brush. It's a little big and it's a little long for me, but I do kind of like it when I'm trying to really fluff and buff out a color. I really like using it. So we're going to use this because we are going to go in with, guys, there's so many options. I really, you know me, I want to do a pink look. You know I want to do a pink look, right? But we're not. We're gonna cool it for a second, and I think that we're gonna use I think we're gonna use Zest. Zest is this beautiful, like chartreuse color. Looks very pretty on the brush, and we're just going to do wide buffing for this one. Wide buffing. Like I said, this Laura Lee Los Angeles brush is a little longer than I usually use, so it took me a bit to get used to it. But I do like it if I'm going to do some like not really precise but just really wide buffing. I will use this one. And the chartreuse on first application definitely is coming off a little white. Now that's probably because we're blending it out. So let's go with a little more, because like I said, that's probably because we're blending it out. Let's give it another shot. Let's try stamping it and see what we get if we're just stamping. Okay. Well, of all the pastels, this one looked to be the most kind of like vibrant and zesty fun. And it may have been because we put down the peach color underneath it, but I really like shades that can blend with each other and on top of each other and not really lose their own individual personality. And I feel like this one kind of did, and there's no way for me to take that off right now. Okay, so this is an unfortunate soul. I just thought the Little Mermaid with the Poor Unfortunate Soul song coming into play. Okay, so not thrilled with this one if I have to be super duper honest. It's just very very white based, whether I tapped it in or not. So I would say, you know, maybe it's the peach, but even when you just tap it in, to me it doesn't look as vibrant as, to me this does not necessarily seem like that. So, and I've seen some people, again, not my complexion, but I've seen some people use this and it was just so gorgeous and vibrant and zesty. I feel like I'm just getting chocolate, to be quite honest with you. But we're gonna save it. But I just feel like the chocolate is what I'm getting. And Natasha has some gorgeous looks that she did on her YouTube channel. Really pretty looks. But okay, so I don't think chartreuse is gonna be the one. I call it chartreuse. Zest. I don't think Zest is going to be the one. So we're just taking this brush. Has no additional product on it, but I just wanted to clean up right there with the peach where Zest had gone a little overboard because it was just so white. If it was its really zesty color, I would have left it with it being white. Oh, I shook you guys. I'm sorry. But with it being white, no, absolutely not. Okay, so now I'm a little hesitant, and I'm like, we should have just went with the pinks. We should have went with the pinks. So I think now I'm really scared to layer. Okay, since we're here and we're doing it, let's go in with Bubble. And we're going to take our Wayne Goss number 6 brush. It's a little bit smaller. Bubble is this really pretty kind of periwinkle. Oof. And even as I am putting my brush in it, I'm feeling like, oh my gosh. Is it getting hard pan? Is this getting hard pan, guys? Can you see that? Is that already getting hard pan on it? Well, it looks like a little hard panny to me. I'm not really sure. And this brush has nothing on it. That's unfortunate and weird. Okay, so let's go in with Bubble. I'm gonna put this right in the crease. Oh, this is nice. Okay, okay. This is nice. Now, I had seen some reviews that comes off as more of a sky blue than the periwinkle, and I would have to agree. This looks more sky blue than the periwinkle. Okay, so I'm not completely mad at it. I think that it is a nice color, but it definitely is not the color that is in the palette. And that seems to be consistent with everybody else's review too, that it's not true to color. Okay, and it definitely whites itself out the more you blend it, which, to, you know, it's, I guess, credit, you know, pastels tend to do that because, you know, their base is made with so much white. But Natasha did say that these were buildable and they give you, remember, impact, punch of color. I don't necessarily know if I'm seeing that. And I'm not gonna put it on a white base. I know you can put it on a white base, but to be honest with you guys, I feel like when you buy any product, you shouldn't have to use an additional product with it to make it work the way it's supposed to work. So I shouldn't have to use a white base to make it be these colors when I put them on my eyes. I just shouldn't. And I fully understand that I am melanated. I get that, but we're in 2022 now, okay? So that's not an excuse for why the pastels are looking like this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm the greatest makeup artist, but I'm saying we have dabbed, we have done, and they still are looking a little questionable. Okay, so I was hoping like we'd have a little zest on the outer part, you know, just to give it a little pizzazz, but I'm gonna wipe that brush off. I'm gonna take Zest back in. I'm just gonna buff out the edges of Bubble just to see if we can get like a little bit of kind of that zest lightening. Okay, so it is providing a little bit more. So we're just going to put some more of this on this side. I did want to do another look with this palette. I wanted to do several looks with this palette. Try to do like quad it out, do some fun looks, but I'm not entirely sure now that I'm kind of seeing how they are. I'm not entirely sure if that is something that I kind of need to be doing. Again, we're going to take this flat brush, has nothing on it, and we're just going to clean up those edges. Okay, so this is looking, yeah, like a Care Bear Stare rainbow, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the color, just a little white, but that's all right. Now we're going to go in with what's perceivably the deepest matte here, and that is Bora. It is a beautiful, beautiful purple. So we're going to go in with that. Okay, and we're going to give a little corner action with Bora. Bora is having... Okay, guys, look at this one. Is this one having hard pan on it too? Can you guys see that? I mean, there we go. Can you guys see? I feel like this is getting a little bit of hard pan on it too. And this brush, again, has nothing on it, but I kept wondering why I'm having to go in so many times to get the color that I want. I don't know if it's just me, if it actually is getting a hard pan. I don't have oily eyelids. I don't have any primer on my eyelids. They're completely dry. But it appears that perhaps I am getting a little bit of hard pan. Okay. Let's put some over here. Yeah, like when I swirl around, like literally nothing is, like watch. Here's that. Okay, waiting for my light to change so you guys can see it better. It's because the mirror is there. There we go. Okay. Look, I'm digging into it. Digging, 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 digging. It's not kicking up anything. You guys just saw that. I was digging, digging, digging. It didn't kick up anything. So I think that this is already getting a hard pan, which is, like, I should have shadow. With all that digging, that purposeful digging, I should have shadow. Oh man, that's so freaking disappointing. Ugh. That sucks. Try to dig some more. Man, I think this is the cream to powder one too. It's not creamy, and it certainly is not powdery. Because I'm having to do just too much. I mean, of all the shades though, I do think it is the prettiest. I do think that now we're kind of coming together with a look, but alright, we'll have to see. So I have to change my battery because after all of this nonsense, it's streaming red at me. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to switch my battery out. We're going to come back and then we are going to finish off the look. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we got the battery changed and we're back in action. So we have the purple on the outer corner, and so I think that we are going to, let's go ahead and we're going to get started on a lid shade. And for this, I think that we're gonna go with, oh man, want to do something a little bold, but oh my god. Okay, these shimmers are really, really pretty. Some really nice colors in here. Okay, we're gonna go in with, I want to go with Limoncello, but that's one that's already in the Tropic palette, if you guys didn't know. Let me see. Let's do, oof. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, let's do, we're going to do this. We're going to do a little bit of Duet, which is this really pretty duochrome because it's right next to the purple. Oh wow, that's really, really pretty. It's like a purple, blue, pink shift. That's really, 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 really pretty. Love, love that color. Gorgeous, gorgeous layered on that purple too. I'm going to take it here on this eye. Okay, I think that these shimmers are going to save the day and save the look. So let's put this on. Put this a little higher over here. Really, really nice. Very nice. I'm just going to take our brush right here with no additional product, and we're just going to make sure the edges are slightly buffed for us. That is a really, really, really pretty color. Next, we're going to transition into, well, let's go, we're going to go with Adriatic, and this is a gorgeous kind of green color. I'm going to put that right here. Oh, that's really pretty. Right here. These are layering beautifully. These are gorgeous. And just look at that. That is really, really nice. Yeah, these These are beautiful. These are really beautiful. These are really standing out. Oh my gosh, this look is so pretty with these. Okay, so sometimes you gotta just trust the process. Trust the process, guys. Trust yourself. Trust that you'll bring it all together. You'll bring it home. Just trying to blend those together. Really, really, really nice. Really, really like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's do Dainty. Yeah, let's do Dainty. Dainty is a really pretty pink. We're gonna put Dainty right here. Oh my gosh, these are so freaking beautiful, guys. These are so beautiful. These are so nice layered together like this. Oh my goodness. Love, 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 love this layering with these. These are just beautiful. These are like a, honestly, these reminded me of like a fairy dream. I'm living my best princess fairy life over here right now with these shimmers. These are shimmers that absolutely I would come back for time and time again. Oh my god, these are just, I mean, guys, these are beautiful. Love, love, love it. Okay, now we're gonna go in with our last color. I usually don't do this many colors, but we're here. And for this one, I already know my little fingers aren't gonna fit in there, so we're going to be able to test out the theory with a brush and kind of see. So we have the Lunar Beauty LBE7. This is a flat tiny brush. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into, now let's go ahead and do some Mint Frost. Okay, let me show you guys Mint Frost on my finger. It's just beautiful minty color. We're going to take this right here in the front. Okay. This is a dry brush too, so I'm going to say that with a dry brush, it's okay. It's much better with your fingers, which is to be expected. And they did say, Natasha said to use your finger or a damp brush, so I was looking because I thought my lighting went off when I had the palette up too high. She did say to use that, but that's okay because it's just in the inner corner. So it's still beautiful, but it's just not quite as punchy. But I'm going to pack it on and see. Packing it on will give you a little bit more. If this was more on the lid, I would have used my finger. If I put my finger in here now, it's not gonna, it's gonna get everywhere. But this is really, that's a really pretty color. So now we're gonna go ahead and wipe that brush off because I wanna go back in and just buff the edge out just a little bit because it's the front color. Buff it just a little. And I want to go back in and put a little bit more of that pink right there. Okay. There we go. Gorgeous. Then we're going to take our Lunar Beauty, and this is the LBE3. And we're just going to go over these edges right here on the top lightly. We usually would use our Jaclyn Hill Morphe JH30, but because these are mostly shimmers or duochromes, these will blend right away if we use a brush that big, and we don't want to do that. So just want to do the edges just as smidgens. Okay, absolutely. You got to get into this. I'm looking very galactic right now. Very beautiful. Let's do the under eye since we're here. Let's go ahead and see what we can do with that. Natasha did some really pretty looks with the under eye. We're going to use our Morphe JH43. It looks like a flat painter brush with a hard edge. And let's go ahead and now let's do Tulle. And this is the pink that's in the palette. And let's do that right. Yeah, let's do that right here. I think that this one might be a cream to matte also. This one, though, luckily is not getting that weird hard pan that we had earlier on it, which was absolutely disappointing. But let's go ahead and get this on here and kind of, I mean, I'm gonna live my best, again, galactic princess troll life. This is beautiful. Okay, again, it's all coming together. It all comes together in the end, guys. It all comes together in the end. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to take this brush, which is actually, I think, a brush for your brow, but we want this side, and we're gonna go into we're gonna go into Brisk. Brisk is a matte mint color. We're gonna do that right here. Bring it down a little bit and bring it in with that pink, the tool that we have. It's definitely a little powdery, but again, this one is not getting that hard pan, so thank goodness for that. Very, very nice. Really like that. Oh, I keep throwing off my color because I keep putting that thing up. I really hate how cameras do that. Oh my gosh, okay. So we have that. And I think we're pretty good to go with that. You know, I'm gonna take this brush again. I'm gonna go back into Bora, because Bora had gotten hard pan on us. It's still, oh my gosh, it still has it. I had to like literally dig. You see that? That is a doggone shame. Again, I'm waiting for my camera. There you go. You guys see I had to dig right into that to get some color on here. I just wanna maybe do a little flick here in the corner. Okay, so I don't know what formula some of these are made of, but they seem maybe like they're all the same formula that are doing this, and I definitely don't like it. I don't like what Bubble, Bora, and Zest did. They were the ones that gave me problems and gave me hard pan. I just wanted to cut this with that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the last thing, which is going to be our inner corner highlight. And for that, we're definitely going to use, the color Illusion. And this is a duochrome pink white shift. We're going to put that right here in the corner. And typically I would take this a little higher up, but because we have so many beautiful shimmers already up there, I'm not going to do that. This is very crumbly right now. You can feel some falling on my face. It's not a soft shadow, but again, it's doing like a little bit of that pan. I'm calling it hard pan, but I actually don't know what it is. I don't know why it's doing that. But whatever it is, it's definitely doing it too. Not as bad as the other ones, but definitely doing it. Come down just a little bit to open it up. Okay, and then since I'm here, I was like, you know what? Let's do a little something else. Let's take, we're gonna take this Lunar Beauty LBE7 brush again, like this, and I want to take a little bit of the Limoncello, which again is in the Tropic palette. We're gonna take a little bit of that on here. It's just this kind of really pale yellow. I'm going to put it just right in between this pink and this blue, just to give it a little pop of light and bright right there. So a little something for the light to bounce off of. Okay, perfect. So now we have all this done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my liners and lashes offline. I'm going to do a little lip. We're going to come back. We're going to chat about the palette because clearly we have thoughts. Y'all see it in action. We got thoughts. So again, was it a pastel dream, pastel heaven, or pastel hell? We'll be back. We'll talk about it and we will see. So give me 2.2 and we will chat skis. We're back. So guys, yes, we are back and we are dramatical with it. So let's get into some of the things that we use, shall we? First, let's get into these lips. I really am liking them. So what we used was the Fenty Icon lipstick. As you can see, she's not in her package. If you want to know why, you can watch the video on it, because we use her just like this. And this is in the color Mother Lover. So Mother Lover is a really nice shade. It's kind of like this peachy pink. The problem with Mother Lover is it's slightly too light for me without having a liner. I didn't want to use a liner, so then what I used was the Colourpop Fresh Kiss lip lacquer in the color First Glass. So it's kind of in the same family, still applicator, as the Mother Lover, but it's just slightly darker and it has a gloss shine to it. It really allowed me to not need a liner on my lips to make it work. And then just to make them a bit juicier, because we're going with a whole theme here, I use the Lunar Beauty lip gloss in the color Celine. This is absolutely beautiful. It smells wonderful. It's clear, a clear peach, or I should say sheer peach, with some sparkles in it, and it just made a beautiful color. So these are the three colors I have on my lips, and that is what made this concoction that we have right now. So now that lips are done and moved out of the way, let's go ahead and get into these eyes, shall we? So the bottom liner, guys, you see this? I tried to do a little something with the bottom liner. So what I used was the Colourpop cream gel liner, and this is in the color Fluffy, and I used that on the outer with the pink. Then I went in and I used the Colourpop gel liner in Big Splash. Big Splash is just this like minty color. I used that right where the mint was, and then the inner part I used the Colourpop gel liner, and it is in the color Prance, and it was just beautiful, and that's what gave us this look that we have right now. On the top, let's talk about that. So the liner that I used was actually the Lily Lashes liquid click magnetic liquid eyeliner. So this is because I use magnetic lashes today, so you have to use the eyeliner for it. So there's no point in putting a regular liner on there because I have to use this one. So that's what's lining the top. The mascara that I used was the Cali Ray, and this is the Come Hell or High Water mascara. I used that on my top and my bottom lashes. Top so they would kind of blend with these, and bottom just so they made them look a little bit more wispy, a little more doughy-eyed. And I really like how the eye ended up looking with it. The Lily Lashes, so I used the magnetic starter kit, and this was, the lashes are in Miami. That's fitting. So this is what the box looks like, and the lashes come right here, and then the liner goes right there. I can say this, okay, so it says to shake well before each use, then you apply, allow 2 minutes for full dry, and then using a lash applicator put them on. I'm not a lash connoisseur, guys, but I do enjoy magnetic lash. These are not better than the velours, at least not right now, and I don't think they're going to be. These took me a long time to put on. I did not like using this. This was really kind of very flimsy and wonky, kind of got in places I didn't want to get, and the lashes themselves really didn't adhere to the magnetic liner the way that I had wanted them to. So I don't know that I would keep wearing these. I'll probably give them another try, but I think that the velour lashes, the magnetic ones with the velour liner, still is in the running, is my number one. This just took a little too long for them being magnetic. You might as well put on regular lashes. The band is light for magnetic lashes. Now magnetic lashes you always feel because of the magnets, but this one is very light, I can say that. They are much bolder than I usually wear, but you know what? I'm not mad at them. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder. I'm not mad at myself for having them on. I think that they look really good with the look. I think it's just a vibe. And so I do like the way that they look, but putting them on, kids, it was a little much. So let me go ahead and move a little closer, guys. So this is what we got. This is the look. How are you guys feeling about it? How are you guys liking it? I am enjoying it. So I, thus far, am enjoying the look. And let's go ahead and get into talking about some of these shadows. So the shadows, guys. Okay, first, let's talk. There are 15 shadows. Out of the 15, we used Dainty Bubble Feather, Zest Bellini Bora, Mint Frost, Duet, Adriatic, Illusion, Limoncello, Brisk, and Tool. So is that 12? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So out of 15 shades, we used 13. It would have been easier for me to just look at the ones that we didn't do, guys. What is math? What is life? So we didn't use Starlit, which was this kind of pinky gold. And we didn't use the color Airy. And Airy is this just kind of powder sky blue. Those are the ones that we didn't use. So in that aspect, you know, I like to at least be able to use 50% of the palette to seem like it's worth it to me. We use far more than that. So in that aspect, I think that it is worth it. We used 13 out of 15 shades, came up with this look, worth it in that way. I did not like that Bora, Bubble, and Zest and Illusion gave me this hard pan. Illusion was less, but Bora, Bubble, and Zest definitely gave me this weird hard pan. As you guys saw, the Bora, I had to literally dig into it after a while to get this purple on the outer corner. The color is very pretty, and it's really nice for an outer corner color, but it just, I'm not understanding why the hard pan came immediately. So that is concerning. And again, I don't know if those ones have the same formula, in particular Bora, Bubble, and Zest, but what I can say is that was no bueno. That wasn't cool at all with those. So that was disappointing. The palette itself is really, really pretty. I really love the color story. I really love the layout. I actually really like the look that we got today. I think that the look is really, really pretty, guys. I think that it all came together at the end. It was very pretty. I had to just trust the process. But the Zest, they just weren't as punchy as I would have liked them to be. I wish that they would have showed up more on melanated skin, because like I said, I have seen reviews and even on Natasha's site where they're beautiful. And she does have a look that she does with a melanated person, but overall I've seen these be really pigmented on other people. But at the same stroke of the brush, I have also seen reviews where people really didn't enjoy them because they were actually lighter than they had hoped for, and they didn't have melanated skin. So I'm not quite sure if it's the type of brush, I'm not sure if it's the method, but we tried to pack it on and it still really didn't have that much of a punch. Clearly with pastels, anytime you blend them, they're going to blend out. They have a very heavy white base, so they have the tendency to look white or chalky. So, you know, what I can say about these is, did they have a heavy white base? Absolutely. But did they look chalky in a negative way? No. They were negative because I wanted the color that was in the pan. But they weren't negative in like a Too Faced, Too Femme, where they basically just sheared themselves out and they looked horrible. They all turned white. These kind of still kept their color, even though the white base came through a lot. So they just didn't have the punch that they had in the pan. So I would have a mirror that says colors may be darker than they appear, because they definitely were a bit lighter than I had anticipated putting them on my eyes. But like I said, the look did come together in the end, and I really did like it. I think that if this is the look you're going for, that you're going to get a pretty look. I actually feel like this is like the Too Faced, Too Femme. Like, this is what it should have looked like for them. But this is a really, really pretty look. Overall, I'm disappointed in the fact that they're not punchier in color. And I think that that's really because Natasha is the one who said that they would be punchy. She's the one who said they would be layerable, buildable, and give you the vibe. So that's what I expected. Had I just gone into this without that knowledge that this was just going to be a pastel palette, I wouldn't have had expectations that high, because I know how pastels work. But I did, and they worked better than traditional pastels, but not to the level of expectation that Natasha was giving me and what she was saying that I needed to have of these, because these were going to perform much better than pastels in the past. So I think they perform much better than the traditional pastel that I have used, but they didn't reach the expectations that Natasha had set me up for. That being said, again, color story, beautiful. The shimmers, the multi-chromes, the duochromes, absolutely beautiful. I don't think you're gonna get some better ones. These are gorgeous. These are just, I mean, they really just made the eye look. And I think that this is a great companion palette. If I wasn't somebody who liked to keep things the way they were, I would pop these out and put them with other Natasha shadows, because those are absolutely beautiful. And because the palette is $65 and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 duochrome, multi-chrome shimmers, I actually think that for me, the palette is worth it just for that. I would pay $65 just for those, because they're absolutely, absolutely beautiful. So at the end of the day, I think that if pastels are not your vibe, don't get this palette. If you just want to have it because it's Natasha, then you're going to get it anyway. But if you're looking to have a punch of pigment, finally with pastels, like somebody's done it, somebody has broken the code, it ain't it, sis. It is better than the traditional pastels in that you are going to get a little bit more color. They're going to be a layer a little bit where you can actually see kind of the division between the colors and not just white. But they're definitely not gonna hit your vibe if you're thinking that they have finally broken the code and they are super pigmented pastels. I don't know indie brands, but apparently some indie brands have really been able to do it. If anybody knows of any, you can leave them down in the comment below so we can kind of know where to look for. But these are not it. But like I said, the shimmers absolutely are worth the price of the palette. And if you like shimmers, if you like duochromes, these are definitely it. You saw how they performed. They were gorgeous. They are gorgeous. So I would say they are worth it for that. But overall, I think it's not a pastel heaven or a pastel hell. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a pastel purgatory. It really just depends on what it is that you're looking for, the expectations that you have of it, and what vibe you're trying to get out of it. If you don't like a light look like this is not for you. If you're okay with having a light look like this and you enjoy shimmers, it's for you. If you're willing to buy a whole palette just to have those shimmers, it's for you. But if you're somebody who's looking to pack a punch and you want the entire palette to work for you, then this is not going to be for you. If you're not looking for the springtime vibe type of look, it's just not going to be it for you. What I can say is we pretty much did what this palette is. That's kind of what we did on our eyes. It looks exactly like the palette. It is soft. It is gradient, but it is not punchy. It's just a very, very soft look. I think if you're deeper complected than me, sis, I don't know. I think that there might be some troubles going somewhere. I think you could either go to Trouble City and be extra, extra dusty gusty, or that extra melanation could really bring out the colors. So sometimes when you have a pastel pink on a deeper complected skin tone, it just really shines. And then sometimes it can look extra dusty. So this is I don't know, I'm curious to see some reviews from deeper complected persons so that way I can see how it fares for them. Because like I said, I think that it is a pastel palette in purgatory. It's I don't know, it really just depends on your vibe, but I definitely don't think it's a, oh my gosh, I have to go get it now, unless you're just a Natasha fan. I think that you can definitely hold off, wait, see if it ever goes on sale, things like that. So it is supposed to be a limited edition, but with Natasha, sometimes limited edition means 2 months, sometimes limited edition means 2 years. It really just depends. So again, I don't think you have to run out and buy it unless you're a Natasha fan. You just like the packaging, you want the shimmers, okay. But I don't think it's a hot buy. I don't think you need to pay extra to get it expedited to you. It's just in the middle. What I can say is that these Colourpop eyeliners came through and really livened up the look. I'm really excited about that because those were beautiful. So let's go ahead, and since we have our commentary, if you're done, thank you so much for sticking around. If you want to see swatches on my skin tone, then stay here because we are going to get into that right now. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get into some of these swatches. We're going to start with Tulle, and that is that pink. That's this one right here. We're going to go into Brisk. We're going down each row of 3. This is Brisk. That was a really nice one. We're going to go in with Limoncello. And this is in the Tropic palette. There you go. We're going to go into Illusion. And this is what we use in our inner corner. And this is really pretty. This is that white duochrome that kind of shifts pink and purpley, orangey, or it must be a trio chrome. It's really pretty. Adriatic here, gorgeous, gorgeous teal blue. This is a shimmer there. We have Duet, which was really pretty. This one too is a duochrome. This is purple to blue right there. Let me take off my bracelets because I don't want to have no room. Okay, so now we're going to go into Mint Frost. And that was this color right here. This is where I have to start going down a little further on my arms so you guys can see. It's Mint Frost. Very, very pretty color. Starlit. Starlit was one that we did not use, unfortunately. But I just don't think it would have vibed with the look. But it is a really pretty duochrome. It's like pink to peach right there. Then we're going to do Airy. And Airy was a sky blue that we did not use. And Airy I'm going to put along the bottom right here, just because we're kind of running a bit out of room. So here's Airy. Airy is that sky blue. Then we're going to do Bora. And we're going to put Bora right here on the top. Yeah, Bora I think is cream to powder because that's what it feels like when I'm putting my finger in it. Swatched much better than it was getting out of the pan. That's Bora. That's one that got hard pan on us. Bellini was the color that we put all over our lids. We're going to put Bellini right here next to Starlit. See if we can get a little bit more here. So this is Bellini right there. We then have Zest, and Zest we were hoping for a little more punch. So I'm actually interested to see how this swatches. Okay. You know what? It actually swatched on my skin exactly how it applied to my face. Okay. So on the brush and such it was a little different, but it applied exactly how it applied to my face. We have Dainty, and Dainty we're going to put down here underneath Airy. This is a beautiful pink to silver shift right there. We're going to do Bubble, which is that kind of beautiful periwinkle color. Maybe it's not periwinkle. This definitely I think is cream to matte. So, you know, I think it's the cream to mattes that we're getting the kind of hard pan. They're very nice when you use your finger. So maybe that's what you need to use. There it is right there. It almost looks like Airy, and that's what it did on our eye. It didn't come off as like that pretty kind of like periwinkle or whatever color it is. It came off like with like a sky blue versus one that had like a bit of purple in it. And our last color is Feather, and Feather is just this pink, and we're gonna put Feather right here. It's like a pinky purple, almost, I guess, almost lilac-y color, and that's that right there. So guys, this is the whole palette on my arm right there. So like I said, up in the air if you want to buy it. I know it's not crazy helpful, but you guys saw how things applied, you saw how they swatched. So I would say if you want to get it, get it. If you want to wait, I don't think that you need to run out and get it. So I think you'd be okay waiting and kind of just seeing, again, if it goes on sale, seeing some more reviews. I don't think you need to rush now unless you just are dying to have it in your collection. So guys, tell me how you think about the look. Like I said, after all that drama with the lashes, with things getting a little white on us, I like it. It's a vibe. It came together. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and I really, really do enjoy the look. So at the end of the day, it came together. Tell me how you feel about the look. Tell me how you feel about the palette. Tell me everything. What are you thinking about? What do you think about pastel palettes? Do you have a brand that really, really does them well and hits them out of the park? Let me know, because I would love to find some that hit them out of the park and really are good for melanated skin. And if you enjoyed the video, always don't forget to give me 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. Not 1, but 2. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of all my videos. You don't miss a single one. And guys, follow me at Instagram at London Brielle, or on Instagram at London Brielle. Follow me on TikTok at official_London Brielle if you want to see them join over there. And until next time, guys, I love you, I miss you, and I will see you on the flip side. I love you guys. Bye.